Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the place where you learn new skill every time you visit. So keep updating yourself by subscribing to the channel.
Okay, so here's the question which is from the class as an object topic, and this is the easiest question on the paper every year. You should not miss 15 marks from this question, right? And about the variable description, although you think that the variables are already described here, but please do the variable description at the end of this question also. Don't take the chances. Now in this question, what we have to do is whatever has been told in the question, we have to do as it is, right? So I have already, so that we can finish this question quickly, I've already done this question. I would like to explain it to you on the blue jay. So I'll move on to blue jay. Here's the blue jay. So a class eShop, I'll keep switching on between the question and the blue jay screen. eShop, and then the variable names are name and price. All right. So name is for storing the item to purchase, and price is for price of the item purchased. So here we have declared the name and the price. Now we have created an object of the scanner class to take the input. We have the accept function as mentioned over here, which takes the name and price of the item used using the methods of scanner class. All right. So that's what we are doing. We are asking the user to give us the name and price by throwing a message on the screen and then taking the item name and the price, right? Price is a double, so it has to be next double, and name is a string, so you need not to have any conversion because by default Java takes everything in the string form. Then the next one is we have a calculate function. Over here you have to do all the calculation depending on this particular table. So let's go to the calculate function. So now here they want us to calculate the net amount, and discount is all to be calculated, but the variables are not there for them, right? So don't get confused. You can have declare a local variable here in the function itself, but you cannot declare any variable over here, right? So we have declared net amount and discount equals to 0 over here. Now it puts the condition: if price more than 1,000 and price less than 2,500, the discount is 5%. Else if price more than 2,501, 25,001 and between 50,000, then discount is 7.5%. If the price more than 57,001 and price less than 100,000, discount is 10%. And last condition you need not to check, because when you're using else if, that means if this condition is not satisfied, it'll go to this condition. If this is not satisfied, it'll go to this condition. If this is not satisfied, it'll default go to the last one. That means it has to go to the last condition. So no need to put if condition. If conditional value checking for this particular last condition, you can simply put whatever discount is given, which is 15%. Then you calculate the net amount equals to price minus discount over 100 into price, and then you print the name and you print the net amount. And then in the display, now you would say everything is done in the calculate. What will you do in the display? So in the display you call the calculate. That's it. Now in the main, I have created an object of the class. I'm calling the accept function, which will take the data, and I'll call the display. Display in turn call calculate, and calculate will show you the details. Let's compile. So it compiles without an error, and let me run it. So here it goes. I'll create an object here. I'll try to create run a main function using this object. I'll give the name of the item I bought and price of the item I bought. So it gives me a certain discount. All right. So it's a simple question, pretty simple question. You should not lose any marks on this. All right. So now let's see what is the next question so that we can move on to the next question also. So I'm clearing the terminal, right, and switching on to the next question on the list. So this is the question which we did, and now we'll move on to the next question, which is the question number 4. Define a class to input values in integer array of size 10, sort them in ascending order using selection sort technique, right? Display the sorted technique. Now selection sort technique is a way where you select either the largest or the smallest depending on the what order has been asked. In ascending, you select the smallest and then swap it with the first element of that array. In descending, you select the largest and then sort it with the first element of the array. How? Let's do it. So I'll go to the blue jay. Let me just turn on the BlueJ, move into BlueJ. Right. Here I'm in the BlueJ. I already created a format of the question, so now I'll start doing it. So first I need an array. Let's look at the question. Does it asking us to store, define a class to accept values? So that means we have to take it from user. And it is of 10, size 10. So I have to declare an array of size 10. So I'll just quickly move on to the BlueJ. Int arr equals to new int 10. I'll take the input. I'll run a loop from 0 till 9, that is less than 10, and I'll input the data from user. So the user is going to give me data. Enter array element. Here I will do arr of I equals to sc dot next int. So the input part is done, and now we'll move on to the next function of this, which is next part of this question, which is sort them in ascending order using selection sort. All right. So as I told you, in selection sort, what happens that you have to find the smallest of the lot. So since you need to find the smallest of the lot, you take a variable small, store a 0 into it, and take a variable position, also store a 0 into it. All right. Now you run a loop. In any sorting, in any of the sorting, you have to always run two loops, depending on bubble sort, linear sort, or selection sort. The starting and ending value of the loop will differ as per the technique. And here the first loop will go from 1 till 10, and second loop will go from next element, that is I plus 1 till 10. All right. When one of the loop goes from I plus 1, be careful that you should reduce the first loop by 1. The reason being, if I don't do that, my last element of I will be 9, and when it comes over here, 9 plus 1 is 10. So there are no 10 elements, okay? So you have to be careful about this. Whenever you find the smallest from an array, you always assume that the first element is the smallest, okay? So that's what I'm doing now. So what I'm saying is, my ARR, the ith element is small, assuming that the first element, the value of I is 0, so the 0th element is small. Now I will check, and its position also I will store. So position equals to I. Now I'll check whether any other element is smaller than this or not. So what I'll check if any of the element, if arrj is less than small. If it is, okay. If it is not, no problem. If it is, then that element which happens to be smaller than arr, smaller than small. Now this element arrj will go to the small. That will be my now. Next smallest or new smallest. So I'll put arrj here, and the position will also change. So I'll do position equals to j. Okay. And then this process will keep on continuing until the j loop ends. When the j loop ends, I'll get the smallest element of one lot. All right. So once I get the smallest element of the lot outside the j loop, at the end of the j loop, I need to swap them with the ith element, the first element of that array. Right. Since I need to do swapping, I need a variable temp. So I'll take a temp variable, and here I have to do swapping, and you all know what is swapping steps. Temp equals to the first element, which is the ith element. The ith element equals to the element at the position, or you can simply take small, or you can take, it's your choice. You can take array of position. All right. Or you can also take, I'll give you both options. It's too small, means same thing. And then arr of position will hold the temp. That's it. Okay. So what you did, you started a loop. You assume that the ith element, suppose the 0th element is smallest, took the position of it into POS, Then you checked out of the remaining lot. If any other element happens to be less than a small, then that element goes to small and the position goes to POS. When this yellow finishes, you have found the smallest number, so you have to swap that smallest number with the first element. Okay, and then this works. So once this works, I'll try to explain you over here only with few runtime. Okay, now I have got the array sorted out. I should print it now. Okay, so I'll use the same loop to print it out, the loop which I used to take the input because the number of elements are going to be same. So I'll copy it from here. Right. So now I need to print all the array elements. I won't do it here. I will say sorted array elements, which are my system.out print. Okay, I can use this and paste it here. Sorry. Yeah, and remove the rest of it. All right. I should also print the things before the sorting, right? So once I took the array, I should print the unsorted array. Unsorted arrays. All right, that makes sense now. So I'll just arrange it quickly. Yeah, and try to compile it. So here it compiles, and let me check if it gives me the desired static, but it's not going. So now, okay. So I create an object and I get the main function. Okay, array elements I'll do 12, 34, 1, 56, 21, 78, 3, right, 4. All right, so unsorted elements are 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay, now it's very clumsy. Actually, you can't make it out whether it is sorted or unsorted. You can't differentiate the numbers also, so we should print a space with the numbers, between the numbers. So here, printing a space. Here, I'm printing space. Okay, let's compile. Let's go on to the screen again. Create an object. Run the main function. Give 10 random numbers. All right, so random numbers given in an order is 21, 4, 2, 3, 6, this, and it's arranged 1, 4, 2, 3, 6. All right, so it is arranged in a ascending order. Now, if you want this in a descending order, you need not to do anything, just change the sign, right? Technically, you just have to change the sign over here, and this will work. Because that time I would be finding the largest, right? So I'll run this first and then show you the output and then come to changing the variable names, because variable names has to be same as the job they are doing. Don't give a meaningful variable names. All right, so now it's descending order. It works. Okay. So now, since the variable name over here is small, now you would say that the question is working. Why should I change the name? But as I told you, variable name has to be meaningful. So since we are finding the largest, make the variable name large. Change the variable name. That is the only thing. You need to change sign and change the variable name. So now you're looking, if any other element is more than this large, then that element will go to the large, and as it is, the position will also go. I'll just quickly once again run it and show you the output once again. All right, descending order. So that works. Okay. So that's That's it with this video. I'll catch you back in the next video with next two questions. All right. See you.
If you are new to the channel, please subscribe it. Also press the bell notification so that you get notification as soon as I release a new video. Share and like the video.